only if you're too full of yourself, you can be unconscious of grace.
Because of the bits and pieces of information that you have collected, when you come from the assumption that you know, your spine becomes like a steel rod and you cannot bend.
It is a question of becoming sensitive. If you have no illusions of your own, you will wonder about everything.
When you realize the magnitude of your ignorance, then you're willing to crawl at everything.
Even if you put filth, see, whatever is holding all this up, one title for it, grace.
We can set up an experiment for you to experience.
Grace means nothing to a whole lot of people. It's not that you have to think about it or you have to talk about it. It is just that if you're too full of yourself, only if you're too full of yourself, you can be unconscious of grace. In the sense, you don't even have to go to school and know about planets and solar system and galaxies and stuff. Just as a human being, if you look up, you don't know where this begins, where this ends, in the middle of nowhere. Here you are sitting on a planet spinning and see, you're fine. Definitely not your doing, isn't it? Definitely you can't do this. Whatever is holding all this up, one title for it, grace. Now, whether you're available to it or not is the question. When we say grace, we are not looking at a certain kind, we are looking at that which is the basis of everything. Because you do not know how this solar system is held in place. You do not know how the whole universe is held in place. You do not even know how you happened, really. How so many cells are staying together and make your life happen, you don't really know. You have explanations and explanations, but you don't know. If you knew, you would create one right now. If you knew exactly how, we would make it, isn't it? So, when there is so much that you do not know and everything is still happening great, obviously it's not an accident. So whatever is making all this happen, that energy, that force, we call it grace. But now the question is about making yourself available. If you have a stuffy nose, a flower means nothing to you. If you're blind, light means nothing to you. If you're insensitive, nothing means anything to you. So, it is a question of becoming sensitive. Most people are ego-sensitive, they're not life-sensitive. Right now, you have to be cautious about what to say and what not to say to a whole lot of people because they're horribly ego-sensitive. For everything, they will crash within themselves. First of all, you create one illusion, then you create another illusion of it falling and rising. It's a very bad game. You must be disillusioned soon. If you're truly disillusioned, absolutely, you will always be available to grace. If you have no illusions of your own, you will wonder about everything. How can you not wonder? About everything, about your very existence. If you have no conclusions in your mind about anything, simply here, you will be soaked in grace. Even now you are, but you cannot enjoy it unless you're conscious, that's all. It will not work for you because you're not conscious. It is working for you, but still you cannot fully benefit from that. See, it is a fact, a medically established fact. If two people eat the same food, both of them will not get the same nourishment. Exactly same food, two people eat, they will not get the same level of nourishment because it depends on your ability to draw sustenance from that. So to develop this capability, all of us are in grace, but to develop the capability to draw sustenance from that, so that this life becomes an expression of that grace.
If this plant has to flower, the soil should be right. The seed may be great, but if the soil, the temperature, the air, the water, if it's not right, this great seed is not going to get anywhere. So creating an appropriate atmosphere for anything to happen is most important. Life happens because of ambience. It is the ambience of your mother's womb which made you who you are right now. It is the ambience of the family and social situations which slowly shaped you the way you are. For one's spiritual growth, for one to flower spiritually, the lap of grace is most important. Can I not grow without it? You can. It would be improper to say you cannot. You can, but it would be a lot of struggle, lot of struggle. I don't see many here who would be capable of that kind of struggle. They would only give up because it takes almost inhuman attitude towards yourself. If you have to grow without grace, you have to be literally inhuman to yourself, very hard upon yourself. Otherwise, simply you will go in circles not knowing what you're doing. It takes so much to realize that you actually do not even know what this blade of grass is yet. Even if you're a great scientist or a biologist, you still do not know what even this blade of grass is. Yes? You still do not know? Forget about the mountain, forget about the existence, forget about the creator altogether. Even this blade of grass, you still do not know it. You do not know an atom in this existence. You do not know an atom of this physical self. When you realize the magnitude of your ignorance, then you're willing to crawl at everything. When you come from an assumption, because of the bits and pieces of information that you have collected, when you come from the assumption that you know, your spine becomes like a steel rod and you cannot bend. But if you want to do the highest thing that a human being can do, you will see steel is not strong. That's not the kind of strength it takes. So to be in the lap of grace, to be in the grace of such a large establishment, it's a fortune. We can set up an experiment for you to experience. What is the difference? If I make you walk, just walk away a kilometer or two, and with your eyes closed, we'll help you, we will make sure that you don't walk into anything. With your eyes closed, maintaining a certain level of awareness, you walk, you will see a distinct difference taking you up, a distinct difference happening within the very physical system as you move closer to this space.
If you have smelled this flower, this is typical to southern India, phenomenally fragrant. You think our garden department is pouring fragrance at the roots? No, they're putting filth, believe me. Yes, even if you put filth, see how fantastic it became, because that's its nature. Because it does that, we are planting that tree, nurturing it, taking care of it, everybody's concerned how it is growing. Suppose it was giving out a smell that was unpleasant to you, suppose it just took the filth and threw out the filth through the flower, no, we would have taken it out, isn't it? So grace brings many benefits. Once you're exuding grace, everybody wants to nurture it, everybody wants to promote it, everybody wants to be a part of it, because you're exuding grace. Now, the question is not at all about whether you're in grace or not. You are, otherwise you cannot exist. The question is only about, are you exuding grace or are you transforming this into something nasty and letting it out on everybody? Whether you eat food or breathe or drink water, anything, it is grace. Otherwise, how 2 parts of hydrogen and 1 part of oxygen becomes life-making water? This is grace. Okay, you can give it an explanation, but you don't know why this should happen, isn't it? All that is happening is grace. Now you drink this, or you eat this, or you breathe this. Will you also exude grace because you consumed grace? You must also conceive grace and exude grace, isn't it? But unfortunately, people take in fantastic things into themselves, turn it into nasty nonsense and lets it out. But look at the tree, you give it filth, it gives out fragrance. It's time. If you learn the way of the tree, if you learn the way of the rock, you will exude grace. So the question is not whether you are in grace or not. Definitely every creature is in grace. Are you capable of exuding the grace that you consume? That's the question.